Hi, it's Ferg again. We're in week 7. We're about to start in week 7. Trials are over for most of you, so where do we go from here? And I'm highly aware that you're probably sick to death of this whole damn HSC business. But let's try and think about it this way. If I was to draw a line across this whiteboard, let's put it up like this. Let's imagine that represents your 12 years at school. That's 12 years. Where you are now is about here. Notice how I'm just about off the blackboard. So all of this here is actually about what actually happens here. And guys, I didn't create the system. So what you need to do is think about that little black bit and how important it is. I'm going to do a bit more writing on the board now. We've got 7 weeks to go. So let's look at the way it pans out. Because what you want to know is, where do you go from here? Let's say next week is week 7. Then we've got week 8, week 9, week 10. Notice I'm putting a box around week 10. 1, 2, that's 2 weeks of holidays. 3, that's when the HSC starts. So I'll put a circle around that. Now, this is time you've got to use with 7 weeks to go. So let's do a little sum. This is what I think. I think 3 hours a night's about right. So let's say you're doing 5 times 3, that's 5 nights, 3 hours, that gives you 15 hours. We've got 3 weeks here. So 15 times 3 gives us 45 hours. Let's come to week 10. To be really honest, it's very important to celebrate you leaving the school. I suggest that you give yourself 3 days to celebrate leaving school. Let's forget all about the HSC, but only for 3 days. I suggest a Thursday, a Friday, a Saturday, and then on Sunday, you're back in. Okay, these are the holiday periods. What can we do then? It's once again 5 days in a week, times, this time, 6 hours. Notice we've got 3 weeks there, each week, 30 hours. Times 3, being a bit generous of course, that gives us 90 hours. So 45 and 90 gives us 135 hours. Okay, let me wipe the board and we'll go again. $135 hours. Let's pretend that you're doing 10 units. So we've got 10 units here. Now we need to do a sum, of course. What we need to say is, I'm doing 10 units, obviously some of you are doing more. I've got 135 hours of study. That gives me 13.5 hours per unit. Now we know that you're doing 2 units of English as you are with most other subjects. So 13.5 hours times 2 gives you a total of 27 hours. That's 27 hours for English, because that's what I'm really interested in. So we've got 27 hours here. You do 3 questions in paper 1, 3 questions in paper 2, so that gives us 6 questions. So if we go 6 into 27, roughly speaking, that's about 4.5 hours per section. So 4.5 hours for your Journeys essay, or your Educating Reader essay, or your King Lear essay, or whatever it might be. Notice how 4.5 hours is not a long time. So unless you're working through the weeks and using them effectively, you simply won't give yourself enough time for revision. Remember, you're right at the end of this journey. You're nearly at the top of the mountain. So let's make sure that you plan your time. You'll notice that I said, let's not worry about studying on the weekend at this stage. You've worked really hard, you're nearly at the end, let's use all this time and then make sure that schoolies is something fabulous to look forward to. Remember, as I've said before, you don't want to walk out of that last exam and say to yourself, geez, I wish I'd tried harder. It's no good at that point. Thank you very much and see you next time.